The Erudite is a good institute, so they are helping students in various domains. So, like I attended a session. So one of the major factors that helped me was, that I was very overconfident about a point that I had mentioned very strongly in my introduction. So when I mentioned it, so basically what I had done was that I had, I had worked with a startup as a technical head sort of thing. So it was a very small startup and it was a student-led startup only. So it was something that people generally do in colleges. Now I mentioned that point, but basically then they started, grilling me on that, because the thing was that that startup was not a success. So basically the interview helped me to, change my introduction and change the points that I want to mention. The interviewer, he helped me to tell me, okay, so this is not one of the points that you should mention, because you have not achieved success in this, so it may not go very well. And the other thing was that since I'm showing myself as a technical head, I did not know, or a technical head or a co-founder sort of things, I did not know much of the marketing sort of things. I did not know what was the selling point of the startup. I did not know, okay, what was the USP of the startup. I did not know why it failed, what was the marketing deals, how the founder came up with the idea of these startups. I did not know all of these things. And I think maybe I became overconfident in that point, that I thought that it would be a good point. So I had mentioned myself as a member of core team or member of founding team sort of thing. Although I was only doing the technical work, I was just leading the technical work over there. I did not know much about the marketing and much about the business side of the startup. So that is one of the points that they strongly, told me to focus on, that you have to change your introduction. And because introduction, I was asked in almost, like, they ask in every interview, at least they ask you how would you, introduce yourself. So they ask you that question at least. So that is what they changed. Secondly, they asked me some questions on mathematics also, because my degree is from maths. So I was not very prepared at that time, during the time of interview. That so they changed, like they told me that you have to change these things, or how you have to, study your mathematics. So I also had an interview, not an sir. So then he was also explaining me, okay, so how to, make your introduction. He's presented a slide, viewers are around 10 to 15 students, on how to make the introduction, what all things should be mentioned, how to come up. So introduction was one of the major things that this mock interview helped me with, along with my academics. Attend these sessions, because what happens with many students is, very one of the most important things which I feel in an MBA interview is, what is your profile, right? How are you introducing yourself? What are the points that you are mentioning to the interviewer? So we are very confused, because we have done so many things and we don't know which is a good, which might see good according to the profile, or which might not feel good. So the interviews, their experience, they are taking so many interviews. They also have so many students that they interview. So they are very experienced. So they know, okay, so we can grill the student on this point, or this point is something which will come out as a very strong negative point if he has mentioned, although the student might not realize that. Then they also, the main thing is that they tell you your weaknesses, right? So you might be aware of your strengths, but I was like not aware that, I have not done my mathematics also very properly, because they asked me general mathematics questions which any interviewer could ask in an interview. So obviously these sessions would be helpful for the students, because getting to know all of these things would be really, I would advise students to take these sessions at least once, because you get to know, okay, which sort of areas are you weak in and which sort of areas do you need to improvise on. So the mock interview was very well for me, because the interviewers knew what were my weaknesses and they tried to answer me those questions only. So the interviews, I thought that they were very experienced. And later I took also a one-on-one session with one of the interviewers, and he told me that, what are the strengths and what are the weaknesses that you should play to. So he basically helped me build my own profile, my own interview profile. At that time, I did not even have one of my interviews scheduled. So it was beneficial. The timing was very beneficial for me, because I had not given any one interview and I was able to change my profile